is probably the best book I've ever read. Hi beauty, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you 5 of my all-time favorite reads, and I think they're perfect for summer. So hopefully this will give you some inspiration on what you can read on the last weeks left of this year's summer. And also I'm going to share at the end what I'm currently reading, which is a new book from this year, and I'm so excited because it's definitely one of the prettiest books I've ever seen, like just from cover and back cover. So yeah, I think reading in the summer is perfect, at least for me. This is the time where I usually really have the time to read and not have a care in the world and just like go through the pages and actually kind of forget time, and that's what I personally really love about reading. So let's jump right into it. The first book that I want to share is Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is a book that is not set in the summer as far as I can remember, and it has kind of like a darker vibe to it, but I think this is probably one of the best books I've ever read. I love this so much. It's in my top 5 and could always read this, and I think John Green did a really good job with it. And even though it's now a couple of years old, it kind of like never goes out of a style of reading, this one. So big recommendation. The second book that I'm recommending is Kim Ji-young, born 1982, from Cho Nam-jo, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correct. This is a book that I read last summer on vacation, and I loved it so much. It's kind of like short. It only has, let me check, only has 162 pages, so it's quite a short read. But this fascinated me really. It took a couple of pages to really get into the book, but I really loved this one, and I think it's like has a great turn, and yeah, as it says here, I think it's really powerful. It's a powerful read and a very lovely fiction story about a woman, and it gives also a great insight into a different reality. So I really love this one. The third book that I'm recommending is such a classic by now. I feel like it's a classic. I'm gonna say it's a classic. It's Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and I love reading this. There are only a couple of books that I read that I actually cried while reading it, and this was one of them. So it was just like, as I said, it was so heartbreaking, but yet like so beautifully written. And yeah, it's a little bit like a thicker book with a lot of pages. It has nearly 500 pages, so but it never like felt like that many when reading it, so definitely a big recommendation on that one. The fourth book is, I would say the fourth book that I'm recommending for your summer read is probably the best book I've ever read. This book was so well written, even though I read it in German, but I don't think, just like looking at the reviews and reading them, there shouldn't be a huge difference, and I think the English version is probably even better. So it's by Delia Owens. It's Where the Crawdads Sing, or in German, Der Gesang der Flusskrebse. It's so amazing. This was actually gifted to me, and I'm so grateful that it was gifted to me. I probably wouldn't have bought it. I am usually not someone who likes those books that are really hyped, I tried to read some of them while they were being hyped, and usually I was not as happy, but this one is so beautifully written. The way every single situation is described and how much detailing there is, so you can actually really kind of like think yourself into that setting, is groundbreaking. Like the first 100 pages, it was a little bit hard to get into it because it does play in a completely different time, and you really kind of have to dig into those like world. But once I feel like you manage it, it is amazing. So absolutely love that. And this is actually something that I would always gift someone because it is so good. So definitely take this one with you on your summer vacation. All right, those were the 4 books, and now I'm going to share what I'm currently reading. I am currently reading The Unhoneymooners from Christina Lauren, and I'm only at page, I think 65-ish. Where am I? Yeah, 65. So obviously I can't fully say now what I think about it, but what I do want to say, I have the German version, but I think the English version is exactly the same name. If not, I'm gonna put it in here. I mean, look at the cover is beautiful. The back cover is beautiful, but what is really amazing is the detailing on the pages. I mean, this is just, even on the bottom, this is crazy. So absolutely love this, and it's like a really nice romance novel, and yeah, I'm so excited to just read this. And I'm actually reading this with my book club at work, so yeah, so excited to also talk about it. So these were my 5 summer reading tips. I hope this gave you some inspiration on what you can read. You can find all the links for the books in the description. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read them already and what you think about them. I wish you a great rest of the summer with those books, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.